That was La Tomatina. La Tomatina is a festival in the east of Spain. We started in 1945, and today, essentially, a load of people grab their goggles, grab their swimming costumes, head down to a big marketplace and throw tomatoes at one another. La Tomatina is a perfect example of a tradition, and this Learn From Anywhere is all about how we can understand traditions to better understand change and mitigate change fatigue. Here it is. Welcome to Learn From Anywhere, where we take little nuggets of things that are happening around the world through history, sports, entertainment, and just anything really, and apply them to elevate and level up our employee experience. And this week, we're going to talk about traditions. Traditions are pretty close, actually, to my heart. Little rituals, habits, things we do around our friends, our families, our cultures, and our societies. Did you know that in Bosnia, they celebrate spring with a mass festival all about scrambled eggs and munch scrambled eggs as they go through? In Italy, there is the fight of the three oranges that takes place. And in Gloucester, a load of people run down a hill chasing a load of cheese. I mean, isn't it wonderful how human beings interact with our traditions and these things that we do? And a lot of these traditions have kind of been left on their own to grow and become part of wider society. But what happens when we take those traditions, or we take the idea of traditions and move within our 9-to-5s, the working world, and our lives within work? Well, traditions for individuals, they vary in shapes and sizes, right? But as organizations grow, and especially organizations who have grown together through merger acquisitions, it's pretty hard to find an organization today that hasn't had to come together in some form of way. How are we as leaders, as HR professionals, understanding different people's traditions on the change journey? Are we listening to people's traditions? Are we focusing in? Are we allowing traditions to rise up and be heard? Or are we just getting rid of them and inputting the new thing that's coming through that week, that month, or that year? There was a recent article put out by Gartner about change and how employees are feeling about change. And in the last 12 months, on average, an employee experienced over 12 different enterprise changes. And our people are getting fatigued. Change fatigue is a real thing. And a lot of that happens where you've been experiencing one thing and overnight something completely changes out of the blue, or you're being told that this thing, this process, this thing you once knew is going to be changed. For the good, for the worse, it doesn't really matter. It's still change, and fatigue is real. And in 2016, when Gartner ran a change survey, they found that 74% of employees were open and receptive to organisational change. And the same thing in 2022, and that number has dropped dramatically. Only 43% of our organisations are open and receptive to change. Change fatigue is real. So how do we overcome change fatigue? We know about wonderful traditions outside of work. Well, here's the thing. With change always comes loss, no matter what that looks like, right? If you are living in a small studio apartment and you win the lottery and you move to a mansion, you still lost, right? There's that one takeaway you had in that small place that you won't have again. There's the memories that you lose and leave behind. Those are traditions that us as humans hold so dear to our heart. So some things to learn around what we can take from our traditions outside of work, how we carry ourselves inside of work, and how we can better mitigate the change fatigue journey. Number one, embrace those traditions for your people. Understand what they've been through. Allow space for that conversation to take place. And during that, listen, think what works really well and what could you bring to level up the change that's coming through. Change fatigue is here, and it's big and it's bold, as we've seen through the Gartner survey. That means you've got to ask yourself some really big questions. Is it right? Is it the right time to ask that person, that team, that group, that organization to give up their traditions based on what's happening around us? We're experiencing amazing levels of change fatigue outside of work, right? Cost of living crisis, a war taking place. Bringing that in, we bring our whole selves back into our organizations. And when we're asking people to go through lots of change, we've got to be aware of the fatigue that's taking place. So the Learn From Anywhere is just understand, is this truly a real priority for us now, right? Understand the traditions of your people, of your humans in your organization. Take the great things, La Tomatina, right? Maybe we don't want to be throwing tomatoes at each other, but bringing two people together once in summer might be an amazing event to bring and learn about different cultures, histories and traditions, yeah? Level those up, do a lot of listening. And then finally, understand, is it needed? Ask yourself that difficult question. Is this a priority for us? And is this actually going to enrich and change the lives of our people? Traditions Who knew? I might go and run after some cheese right now. Thanks. That was Learn From Anywhere, and we'll see you again really soon.